So the F-117 was leaked by the Chinese leaker and some other leakers, right? So let's do the same that I did yesterday with the Su-34 and the F-15E while they're not confirmed, to see what is the aircraft itself, how it will actually feel like when you are playing it, and try to predict a little bit how it will perform, okay? So we're gonna talk a little bit about the history and what the aircraft is, the performance out of it, the sensors that it has, and the weapon systems, and at the end of the day, what the aircraft is actually and how you can expect to fly it, okay? So let's start with a little bit of what the F-117 is. It's a stealth aircraft. That's the main thing about it. It started being used in the 80s, and the objective was to counter the advancements that the Soviet Union had in the technology department with surface-to-air missiles, right? Making sure that the aircraft that they were flying had the smallest RCS possible, the radar cross-section. Basically, it would mean that the aircraft, if flown in the right way, was to a certain extent invisible to ground radars. I have a whole video about that. Even people commented how far we were from stealth, that they were complaining that how can I do a video about stealth? We are not even close to that. But we might see F-117s coming up very soon, right? So stealth is very interesting to learn about, so you can check out the video to see how stealth actually works. I will try to remember to leave the card for you to click, but in a general sense, it will be a lot harder to detect it, and even when trying to detect it with IR emissions like an IRST or an IR missile, right? So this is the F-117, an aircraft that sacrificed everything to have stealth. So in the performance side, to kind of continue the video here, it's basically everything to do stealth, everything. Okay, so it doesn't, you cannot expect this thing to do good in a dogfight or running away from somebody. The engine is a very good engine. It's the 404, right? The F404, which is a pretty good engine. It's an engine that we already have in the game, even technically, with the Gripen, for example, and the F-18 engine, right? But it doesn't have afterburners, because afterburners produce a lot of heat, produces a lot of IR signatures. So it has a normal engine with no afterburner, around 40 kilonewtons each, so it's weak. And with the weight that it has, which is around the same as an F-15E almost, it's like an F-15C, but a little bit more. It has a thrust of to weight of around 0.4, man. So very slow, subsonic, and it doesn't turn very well due to the design of the aircraft itself. Actually, it has to have a very, very complex and very advanced for the time fly-by-wire system to even be able to fly, you know, because it's a very, very difficult aircraft to fly if you didn't have that. It would be basically impossible. So it's an aircraft that it's not made to do dogfights. It's not made to be running away. It doesn't have the performance. The objective is to be stealth, and it only do good at that. That's the thing. Even the back of the engines are made in a way so that it doesn't produce a lot of IR signatures to be able to be stealthy, okay? What are the sensors that it has? I mean, it doesn't have a radar, obviously. It's an attacker. It has thermal systems integrated into the aircraft, just like the Russians do, but in a very smart way. It has like a forward, like upward camera that it can actually go, like look down a little bit and stuff. And then in the belly of the aircraft, it has another one. So it's a very complex system, very classified as well, so I have no idea how it works and stuff, but at the end of the day, thermal system, TV, stuff like that, okay? And a modern day for the day of the game, RWR as well, defense systems, stuff like that. It will be around the same level of performance that you should expect from an aircraft that is from that era, right? What about the weapons? So it doesn't have a lot of performance, but what about the weapons? What it can actually carry? Well, the main armament, it doesn't have a gun. The main armament is GBUs, right? It has only 2 pylons, or better, 2 bomb bays, basically. And it can use a pair of GBU 10s, 12s, or 27s. It can also use a BLU 109 penetration bomb, or even JDAMs after 2006, and of course it can use a nuclear bomb as well. The thing about this aircraft is that it is going to be a precision guided, or like a precision bomb weapon. That's the thing. It's made to fire the 2 bombs laser guided and strike a very specific target. That's what it's made to do. So don't expect this thing to have A9s, don't expect this thing to have a cannon, don't expect it to dogfight. It's strictly a ground attacker that will attack 1 or 2 targets and then it will RTB. That's why I think it's perfect, guys, that this thing is actually a squadron vehicle. Because if it was an event vehicle, it would literally break the matchmaking. Everybody would start flying this thing in an air match, and bye-bye matchmaking. Everybody would be useless, basically, in an air match. That's why I wonder how they're gonna do this, because this aircraft, it's one of those aircraft that kind of needs to be spaded from the get-go, because you will not be able to spade this thing. It's really hard to spade an aircraft that has only 2 bombs, guided bombs, okay, but only 2 bombs. It's gonna take forever. So I really hope that this thing comes with very few modifications on it, and that maybe they don't even like change too much of the performance of the aircraft. You know, it's already almost at the top of the performance, because if not, it's gonna be a hard aircraft to fly. And that's why it's perfect as a squadron vehicle, because you have to choose to grind it or leave it there and you don't care, right? While as an event vehicle, everybody would start to get it because everybody would want to see it, how it is and stuff, and at the end of the day, you would break the matchmaking. So at the end of the day, it is an aircraft that sacrifices everything in the design to be stealthy. So the objective is to be undetected. Hopefully, if added, it can actually try to use the stealthness of it to actually be playable. To be honest, it will be a very limited aircraft in RRB, but amazing on ground RB. They might even need to nerf the detection of this particular aircraft in normal air battles to try to be able to do something without getting shot down. So basically that red square that appears when you are spotted, maybe remove that to a certain extent to the F-117 just to have a chance of doing something in an air match. Because if not, this will be pretty much a useless aircraft unless you are flying in a ground battle. So I don't know about DBR as well. I seriously, guys, please don't add this thing at 8.0 because I don't want to see a MiG-15 fighting against an F-117, right? Just because it doesn't have a gun. I will force this thing, I swear to God, I will force this thing into the top tier of ground matches with an Abrams if I have to not fight lower BRs with a 117. It would be just crazy, right? But yeah, guys, basically this is what you can expect from this aircraft. A slow aircraft that cannot turn very well and doesn't have a lot of bombs, but it will do very well in precision-guided bombs and, of course, being not detected. You know, especially in ground battles where you don't have markers, you just can be stealthy against AA systems and be an AA system killer, a Panzer killer maybe, in top tier. That would be crazy good, isn't it? So yeah, this is it for the F-117, an aircraft that I was waiting for a very long time. Hopefully it's added, and I will do like proper videos onto it, reviews, everything when it's added. Hopefully this leak is correct and I'm just not talking out of nowhere over here. But yeah, let's wait and see. Subscribe, let me know in the comments what you think about the F-117, and see you guys. Bye. Click the like button.